So I don't even know if I'm gonna wait for people to come in here or not. Just gonna start. So I heard a little bit of Corrosive's stream, just the beginning part of it. I have not really listened to enough, but from what I get from it, I assume he's gonna paint it out to seem like I'm just like doing this all as some sort of act and whatever. And um, but- so like he's making it seem like I intentionally am doing this to myself and intentionally pushing people away because I want to do that, or like I'm enjoying this or some shit. And I haven't listened, like I said, to long enough of the panel. But what I'm guessing is he's just going to say a lot of what he's said from the very beginning when he first started to talk about me and shit. Um, Corrosive is a wordsmith. He knows how to twist word salad like no other. Shiva I thought was talented at doing it, but Corrosive, he has a little bit more talent at doing that and convincing people um, into his bullshit. I mean, people come here and they get what they expect. It's more or less going to be what you expect it to be. I've never hid that I ask people for money. I never hid that I'm on here and I might piss people off. I never hid any of that shit. I never hid that I've doxed some people and whatever. But to the degree that Corrosive is saying, I don't think it's been like that. I've hurt a lot of people with words. I've said a lot of terrible things to people. But if he is going to make it the argument that it's because of the doxing, that's not necessarily true. Um, so besides that, that's really all I heard about that. It's not really a big deal. I'm actually going to go cover a lot of that tomorrow morning, but that's not even really why I wanted to come on here and to talk. So I'm well aware that I hurt a lot of people, and I tend to do it a lot more often than I intend to. And then it's not even like I intend to. It's just that, I'm in an unhealthy state of mind. I'm not the me that I once was that could control myself, and as much as people like to think that you know, there's some sort of solution to controlling myself in situations like this. I feel like the worse people try to make it for me on here, the worse I end up getting. In a lot of ways, I'll try to cover it up with acting or playing some comedic role or some shit, or um, trying to make it seem like I'm trolling them back, because of course I have ego, I have pride. I'm gonna want to defend myself. That's my only way of knowing how to do it. And in a lot of ways, I make myself look more like a fool because of it. That's a fact. I know that. So I'm not gonna lie, I still feel bad about the things I say about people. Like even today, a lot of y'all assume I'm just some cold motherfucker, but even the shit I said to Polly, Polly's tried to be there as a friend of mine, tried to support me, and I know he's not just using me or some shit like that. I mean, I don't think he's, but I get paranoid. I do a lot. I get paranoid about people, and so I'll put them in these circumstances to where I'm testing them, and then I'll say something that's hurtful to somebody who might not necessarily expect it. And I catch myself sometimes. I have to watch myself like my past streams to catch myself when I'm acting out to a point where it's like too much. And, like with Sweet as Sugar, and I know she doesn't like me bringing her up. And I get that. But I'm still upset with her about the whole We the People thing. Just basically they're still having my information up there on their website. That's what I'm angry about the most. But just, I guess, like just I guess it just triggered some sort of response in me. If I were to think about it deeper, I don't know. Like, there's just still a part of me that I feel like I care about Sweet still. Like, there's still a part of me that I still care about her, or I feel for her in a lot of ways. But it's just like this drama, this hate. I don't know if you call it drama, but this hate that's building across the board in this community, it's it's like changing me in a lot of ways, I guess. Not for the better. I really, what I'm trying to say is I wish I could just forgive people. Like, I almost really want to forgive people. I wish I could just move past a lot of the issues that I have with people. I really do. It's unfortunate people had to connect it to money, because the help that people, give me is it's worth more to me than a lot. I mean, it's just I just don't know how to express it. But there's no amount of money that could, like, change what can't be broken. And the drama, or the issues that those people are claiming that they have with me, in my opinion, has nothing to do with the money that people have donated to me. I really don't believe that's the case. I do think that, um like, as people started donating money, and as I started getting, I guess, accustomed to that a little bit, it was hard to get it ripped away from me, I guess, in a sense. Like, yeah, that's kind of what happened with Candace Smithson, where she, thought it was a bright idea to just throw me $1,500 within a 2 week span of time, and then just snatch it away. The promise of giving me $500 every month or some shit like that, planted a seed in my head, and then takes it away and expects me to, you know, I mean, you just don't stick a block of cheese in front of a mouse and then expect to take it away and it not to gnaw at your hand. There's just certain things you don't do, right? And that, I think, was the mistake. People holding money in front of me like I was just some sort of, like, gimme, gimme, gimme. And, they're just like, well, you just reach for it. Hurry up, reach. Like, when people use their money to act superior or be superior or feel superior, that's more or less what caused me to be this way. For the people who helped out after the fact of Candace coming along, there's been a lot of misunderstanding. And a lot of that misunderstanding had to do with how people perceived me after Candace would talk to them. Because once, of course, people like Candace told people her story of giving me money and shit, they passed it along to all these other people, whom assumed that that was going to happen to them as well. Now, the issues I've had with the people who donated since then have been completely separate issues, all individual issues of their own. The issues with sugar, for instance, or I had with her, had nothing to do with the donations. I was very appreciative towards the donations. It's unfortunate that at one point our friendship had to split up, but it had nothing to do with the donations. If anything, she was more than willing to help me out with money. Hostel, she's another one, who was more than willing to help out with money. I was the one who pushed Hostel away. And the reason I even pushed her away was because she let her personal relationship issues cross over to my issues and my drama that I was having here. If her personal relationship issues with Defend never had to have anything to do with what I was doing, I would have never connected the two. Therefore, Hostel would have still been here supporting me, and I would have never had to push her away, and she would have still probably been giving me money. And that would have never been the issue. The money was never the issue, she told me. And as far as those people are concerned, money was never the issue. Paige is another one. Paige at one point donated me a lot of money at one point, and again, it wasn't even the money that was the issue that happened between us. It was because they were going over to Tonics. Sure, it's a petty issue. Sure, it's a petty issue because they were supportive of Tonic and they still head over there when he's, talking shit about them, whatever. They still want to go over there and support him, fine. But that had nothing to do with the money that they were giving me. They would have been more than happy to give me money if I never complained about something else completely different. Who else should we speak about? I mean, there's other people out there who maybe after the fact, I started to make it about kind of the money or started getting to be paranoid about the money. The thing was, it was my paranoia. It wasn't so much that I had an issue with people not giving me money or whatever. It's that when I saw my audience start slipping away from my fingertips, like really quick, that started to make me panic. At that point, yeah, then I started making it about seeming like it was about the money and shit, I guess. Like I'd start, why are you people fucking me over? But it wasn't even about the money. It was more or less like, why are you people not here supporting me? Why are you not in my chat saying what's up? Why are you not here participating? Who's keeping you from being here supporting me? Who's telling you not to be here in the chat supporting me? It has nothing to do with money at that point. It was like, why aren't people here? And somehow, some way, people mixed the two. Because, of course, yes, I was definitely on here asking people for donations. It wasn't like I wasn't. So, of course, it looks a lot worse when people don't like me. But back when they supported me, the money had nothing to do with it. Back when they were supportive of me, the issue never was the money. But I find it funny how with Corrosive, when he brings up the issues and the drama that I have with people, all of a sudden, it's, why are you giving him money? As if the money was the problem. Now, Swedish Sugar has a reason to be pissed off at me. I know Shelly might have a reason to be pissed off at me, but I know damn well that they know that the issues that we had never to do with the money. At least I know Swedish Sugar knows. Like, that was purely our friendship that was at stake. That was nothing else. There was no money that was the reasoning behind it or the issues that we had. Nor was it with Shelly, nor was that the problem with pretty much most of my supporters. And I want people to understand that, because that's a fucking fact. Maybe after the fact, when we had issues with each other and they started going over there supporting other people and whatever, then I made it seem like that was the problem, just to sound like a dick, just to make them feel bad. Then I kind of used the money that they gave me against them. because it made me feel better, feeling like a dick and making them feel less, I guess, at that point, because I felt like less. So yeah, I was willing to hurt their feeling based off of that narrative, but was that really the problem? No. At this point now, where I feel like I've lost pretty much everybody, it's easier for me to just say, you know what, guys, it's all about the money. I only give a fuck about coming on here and e-begging or whatever the fuck, like, because at that point, that's all I'm good for. Whatever. In the past few days, that's what I've been saying, because that's what it feels like. Like I'm just not being heard. I'm just not acknowledged. What point does it matter if I look like I embarrass myself or not? Like I already have embarrassed myself many ways. This is whatever. Like this is like walking in a park for me. And especially like when you feel like you've lost a lot of those people, and yes, a lot of it was done because of me, you feel like you don't have anywhere to turn. When you push people away and you push all your friends away, what friend are you going to go to express your pain? You're basically putting yourself in a situation where all you can do is express your pain to yourself until it just festers and builds into something worse. So I got to get off of here because I got a really bad headache and I don't even know if I can word things any better. I'll try better tomorrow morning because I thought I could explain better, but I've been on here for hours. I can't. That being said, I do want to apologize to Shelly, Polly, to Swedish Sugar. And Swedish Sugar, she cares, and she does a lot of stupid things sometimes. We all do, me included. But I just feel like she doesn't have a lot of people to turn to, so I don't know. I feel like sometimes she deserves a free pass, I guess. Just because I can understand, especially after the emotional distress I put a lot of people through and shit. I can definitely get to people's heads and give them reason to hate me. And I'm starting to realize that I probably give a lot of people reason to hate me, and I guess it's hard to see it in their perspective until I try to. So I'm trying to catch myself on my flaws, and even that probably won't do much when it comes to fixing things. And I don't expect to. I still think I'm in a very peculiar situation to where I can guarantee I can manage to get people to hate me. I'm very good at that, which sucks because, you know, that destroys friendships, destroys relationships, destroys a lot. I wish I had a lot more experience within this shit, but I've only been in this for 2 years, and I'm still learning as I go along every day. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna make the wrong call a lot. That's just a fact. But in no way do I need someone like Corrosive speaking on my behalf or telling other people. I mean, you can tell other people as much as you want, but you know, trying to convince other people who I am or what my motive on here is. It's just like fucking such a pussy move. Like I could easily do the same thing to him and be like, oh, he's just on here you know, e-begging based off these false narratives that we're all stupid and he's smart. I mean, he puts his trust into Kate Peter, and Kate Peter is such a great person. We all know that, right? But yet he'll sell his soul for her. But he knows all things. Thing is it all started with his best friend Kate. All of this based off of this false narrative that I was somehow scamming people. Sure, prove it. There's still not one person out there who can actually prove that I was scamming anybody, because you'd have to actually call out a scam. You'd actually have to find the scam and call it out first to begin with. Like, there's no money transaction that they can call out. Like, there's no any kind of money that they saw that traced back to anything within those blogs. Like Kate wrote those blogs saying I scam people, but they can't say who was actually scammed, because no one was scammed. No one called me out and said I scammed them. So what does that mean? That means that Kate Peter was the fraud. She was the fucking fraud to begin with. She half-truth a bullshit story, wrote it in a blog, and tried to convince a shitload of people that it was fact. While talking about Ratchet Weekend and shit, like, they're doing stories on ratchets, and that's their news at that time. And people are supposed to see it as the news, as if that's primetime television news right there. That's Turtle Boy, someone who actually really tried to get cited by the news, by Fox News. Those are the people that these people are getting information from. Kate Peter from fucking Troll Mafia. Like, yeah, just ridiculous. But I got a headache. I gotta get off of here. What's up, Rebels Third Sim? Just I'm just tired. But I do apologize to everybody who I have probably upset. A lot of you who have probably heard from others that I'm scamming you and I'm just taking advantage of y'all or something. If that's what you guys feel, I'm sorry and I apologize, but that's not my intent. That wasn't what my motives were. The thing is, I feel like there's going to be people who still believe that, I guess, and I can see why, but I think that I'm definitely too mentally unstable to be able to coordinate something so organized like that. That seems like I'd have to be on point 24/7 to be able to scam people to such a degree. And my mental health has only been getting worse, declining more. So it's not like my mental health is getting any better. So for Corrosive to think that this is benefiting me in any kind of way, um, by me sabotaging myself, it's not, and I'm aware of that. Okay, that's kind of why I've expressed how much I don't care. Because in a sense, I probably do care a lot. Not so much about this stuff or what people say, but I don't know why I care. It's definitely not because of just the money. or because of money at all. I mean, it's the money. I appreciate that part of it, but it's just like people are getting paid minimum wage, $17 an hour out here. So, if money was my main priority, it would not be too difficult to walk away from this. I'm sure if it were uneasy for someone like me to do that, I definitely would do it. It's obviously not the job or getting a job that's the problem for me. At least for me personally, that's not my main problem when it comes to that. My main problem has to do with a lot deeper reasons, like mental issues that um stem far beyond just these past 5 years. So, you know, I just it shocks me sometimes knowing that I'm not out there making money. Knowing that I could build a future for myself, any future besides doing this to myself, it kills me inside. It really does. But I need people to understand that I'm putting most of that weight on my shoulders. Corrosive makes it seems like he makes it seem like I feel like I'm doing people a favor. I don't know if I'm doing anything. I don't know what I'm doing. I think that he's giving me a lot more power than he has to. If I were that important to myself, then I surely would be popular more so than hated, or popular for the right reasons rather than hated for, you know, whatever reason. So I am tired. Thank you, Rebels Third Simp. Mm, I'm gonna call it a night. Um, uh, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. That's even if I can. I don't know, but I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Have a good night.